Commitment Circle. I am your host, Jamila Jordan, and I am here to present to you what this opportunity could do for you, your family, and your friends. So, have you heard of Susu? Well, if you haven't, Susu is a informal rotating savings club where people get together and contribute an equal amount of money into a fund weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly. The total pool is also known as a hand and is then paid to one member of the club on a previously agreed on schedule. The pool rotates until every member has been paid out. Susu originated from the West Africa originated in West Africa, but is practiced in many African and Caribbean countries. So it's just like a savings club for those that don't have immediate access to funds and they have credit, but they need money for big purchases, or if you're just trying to create uh, an emergency fund or create a fund or develop some type of residual income or some type of wealth to help you get ahead in life. In this, the commitment circle was formed to run sort of like how the Susu is ran. The difference is instead of one member being paid out, you have several members being paid out at once. Now, like many other um, commitment circles or money blessings, or um, they have so many different ones that are titled. They have many different titles, but with the same concept. But here is just a tad bit different. Some of the things have been changed to alter to be able to make it easier for you to make a formed decision about joining this organization and participating and committing and honoring your commitments. How do you get started with the commitment circle? Well, someone should have invited you to one of the groups on Telegram, or someone should have invited you to one of the Zoom calls, or sent this video to you. Um, the person that invited you only requires that you invite one person. It's not required like most boards for you to invite two, but this one is only, we're only asking that you invite one person or as many as you would like. And then when you invite your person, we ask that they invite one person or as many people as they like and continue the pattern. And there's a team of us that have already went through the first cycle of gifting that comes back and help you throughout the process because it's a 5 week cycle. You gift $100 once the current board is closed, and when I say closed, I mean that once all spots on the open spots on the board have been secured, you gift $100 to the person that is holding the spot color that's connected to your secured spot. And you'll learn more about that in the upcoming slides. Gifting is generally done by Sunday at 12 noon, but sometimes, as we know, schedules do get off track. We're trying to keep this going on a weekly basis so that the cycle runs for 5 weeks only, so 28 days. So I'm going to say between 28 to 30 days. It may run over a little bit longer than that, but it shouldn't go too long. We have to be able to make the decisions to secure the spot and get the slots all locked in so that we can begin the gifting process. And then do the same with those that are coming behind. So it's simple math. If you do the math, filling the board becomes very simple. It's a 7 by 8 matrix, which equals 56 people on the board. And if you include the core 7, that is a total of 63. So if each member of the core 7 brought in 8 people each, we would all have 56. And the board would close. While that is a much simpler option, it's not the responsibility of the 7 core to close the board. It's the responsibility of everyone to close the board So let's break it down and do a little bit more further in the math. And if you can see the graph here on the board, your core 7 brings 1, and that equals 7 people. And then they 7 bring 1, and that's 14. And then their 7 to bring 1, and that's 21, and so forth. Now, the focus has always been on 2 people when joining the commitment circles, or the money blessings, or the friends helping friends, or the money boards, whatever you would like to call them. The focus has always been on 2 people. Where here we're asking you just to bring 1. And if you do have more people you can bring, we're asking you to bring as many as you like. So what tools are needed when doing this? Well, if you have not downloaded Telegram, I want you to stop right here, pause this video, go download Telegram to your phone. It's the same name for the app in Androids and iPhone. Download Telegram. Pixie is used for those who are going to help update the boards and do a little bit of the administrative work. So you can use Pixie, phone, Photo Note, or what is it, Photo, Over. There's a lot of other different apps that you can use to write over the apps to help fill the boards when asked, or if you would just like to be of help. It does take a team to get the process going, but the end reward is so great that you don't mind doing the little tedious things throughout the process to get the boards closed and to get to the final destination. And you will need a cell phone and a notepad. You always want to keep track of who you invited, who they invited, and maybe who else places people on the board. You never know when you would need that information or when someone would ask that information. So those are some good things to have. Is it mandatory? No. The things that are mandatory that you have is a cell phone and Telegram. Telegram helps you and keeps you up to date with what's going on with the board, where we at, how many people we need, how many people we don't need at the time when the board is going to close. It kind of gives you a generalized idea of what's going on. And if you are in Telegram, you have the right to, or access to, muting and unmuting and checking the group when you want to. So you don't have to worry about any of that, but you do need Telegram and a cell phone for this to work. Gifted. So when you first come in on the board, you it's your gifting week. So on the gifting week, you're gonna go ahead and gift $100 to one person, but there will be 8 people gifting $100 to that same person, to 7 different people. So 7 different people on the board at one time will be gifted $100. So that's $800 per person. Now, the next week that you come in, you're going to receive $800. When you receive $800, because the 8 people that are in place to pay you will all Cash App you, Venmo you, Zelle you $100. You will then re-gift the same person that you gave the $100 to. You would re-gift them $500. And once you re-gift them $500, they're gonna re-gift the person that they gave the $100 to. They're gonna re-gift them $2,500. But so that's just the cycle of what gifting and regifting is. So your first week you're going to hold. You're not going to get anything. You're going to be gifting. The second week you're going to receive 800. Then you're going to re-gift 500. And then the third week you're going to get $4,000. You're going to re-gift 2,500 and keep 1,500. And then the next week after that, which is the fourth week, you're going to receive 20,000, re-gift 6,000, and keep 14,000. And then your last week, you're going to be gifted 6,000 from 8 people, which is going to total into $48,000. And if you add that up, You've received 300, 1,500, 14,000, and 48,000. That's a total of 63,800 in a total of 28 days, 28 to 30 days. At the longest is what we want to draw this out to. So that's pretty much how it works. And if you have more questions, you can just get back to the person that referred you, and they will be able to answer your questions more in detail. So who's gifted and how is the flower split? So on this board, you will see something that looks like most of the other boards: the fire, the wind, the earth, the water. Now this board does not really focuses on all of those sites. We only focused on the fire and the water. So if you're in the fire, you're gifting, and everybody that's in the fire area and behind them are gifters. So you all are in fire. On the board, you see wind, earth, and water. Those of you that are in the wind, earth, and water spot, you guys are all water. You guys are all being gifted by the fires. Now, there's 8 sections, and the sections have been broken down by the black lines. Each section has 7 people in there. There's one fire, and there's 1 yellow, 2 orange, and 4 greens. That's 7 people in a core that will move to the next phase once the board is completely closed. The colors in the So if you're in the yellow spot, we typically say that this is the leader of the group, the one who facilitates, maybe the one who is updating the board or assisting with getting the board updated. They're the person who is keeping everyone motivated. They're not allowing the board to go silent or to go dead, so to speak. The orange will support the leader, and then the green and yellow, and the green will support the orange and the yellow. So I know that many of you have been on several different other boards. Maybe you have gifted and didn't receive the gifts and have been burned. This happens, but what happens is people get into or get on these boards, and then they sit and think that money is just going to fall out the sky. But you have to keep bringing somebody, or you have to invite somebody and have them invite somebody and them invite somebody for the circle to continue to flow. If money is not still being brought in and the boards aren't being filled, then yes, the boards do go dead. If you get in and you sit down and you say, hey, I'm a gift, I'm going to just wait to see what's going to happen until before I invite anybody because I want to make sure I get my money, then you just set yourself up to fail, because you can't move this board or you can't close a board if you don't have the bodies to fill it. And if you're just sitting there waiting for those bodies to bring those bodies in until you get your money, how do you get your money? Because the board is really set up for family and friends to join in with you to make money. Now you can position some of your friends and family and put them in certain spots so that they pay you, and then you know who's paying you, or you paying somebody that you know. That's why the group leaders are typically people who are named, that are most people are familiar with. And even if you're in someone's board that you're not familiar with the yellow spot name, you're familiar with somebody in their core 7. So don't get in and just sit, oh, I'm gonna just wait until I get paid before I start sharing the opportunity with other people. So we're gonna say that the boards are like, this is like your real estate. So again, this one now is broken down. It's much like the previous slide. It's broken down a little bit more in detail, and it's numbered off. So you have section 1, section 2, all the way up until section 8. So if you look and you see the fire is now in section 1. The fire is connected to water. They may not know each other, but when this board closed, that fire and the rest of those 7 fires surrounding the wind will gift water. And then all of the oranges from 2 around to 7, so 2, 1, 8, and 7, they will gift Earth. They will all gift Earth at the top. And then you have section 6, 5, 4, and 3. Those orange circles will gift Earth at the bottom underneath water. And then you have several of the green dots. Now, there's two winds on the top and 2 winds on the bottom. So the 16 winds that total up the 8 winds in 1 and 2. So you have 4 in 1 and 4 in section 2. Those winds right there will pay the wind that's facing them, that's facing that section 1. The winds that are in section the greens that are in section 3 and 4 will pay the wind that's connected to that section. The greens that are in section 5 and 6 will pay the wind that is connected to that section, and so forth. Now, when the board is completely filled, in section 1, you see the fire, you see 2 orange, and 4 greens. That will become one section and one board of its own. That is now a core 7. So what will happen is you will no longer see everybody that's connected to this board and all of the ads that was going in. And when you were inviting people, you now get a chance to re-invite those same people that didn't take your offer and join the board. You get to invite them again. You will now be in a smaller group that will grow large as this one, as the one that you previously was in or been shown, or if you've seen boards with tons of names on it, that was a group that was formed from a small group. So you have the core 7, and it will be titled whatever the person name is that lies in the yellow. And then the rest of you, the 2 orange and the 4 greens, will be placed in their respective spots, and you will then begin to fill the board. Now, it's 7 of you that should be inviting one person, but there's also people who were gifted when you first came in. So those that you gifted when you first came in will come in this board, and they will help you, encourage you, fill the board. Now, it's not the responsibility solely on the core 7 to fill the board. It's everybody working as a team, because if you don't get your blessings, the ones that you gifted before you and the ones that they've gifted before them, they don't get their blessings. So everybody is working together to meet the same common goal. Now, there are times where it takes longer to fill some boards than it will take the other, and that's okay. Don't get discouraged. Just work a little harder and work together. If you spoke to 20 people today, go speak to 20 more people so that you can get this board filled. So this is a graph or some graphics of how the breakdown of the board split. Now, the first picture shows the core 7. You will see the core 7 in the middle, and then you'll see the pie of the 8 sections. And this just shows you that once the board is separated out, that's what it looks like. You have 8 sections with seven groups of 8 sections. And then right here, you see the core 7 plus 56 equals 63. So it's a total of 63 people on the board, but the core 7 comes from the group or the board prior to this board that was previously closed. Those core 7s gifted somebody to get into those spots. And then the core 7 always stay together. So whoever is in your little core 7 tripod, flower, circle, whatever you want to name it at that time, those will be the same individuals that will stay with you all the way until the end. So from week 1 or from week 2 to 5, you will have the same core 7 that started with you. Or whenever the board splits and your core 7s are broken off into the groups, you will have that same core. You guys will all get paid together. You guys will all get regifted together. So most people ask, will we fill the flower with 63 people? See, Cat Williams can't even believe that we can fill this board. It looks impossible, but it's very possible to do. If the core 7 brings in 1, that equals 7. The new 7 brings in 1, that equals 14. And the new 7 brings in 1, that equals 21. And the new 7 brings in 1, that equals 28, and so forth until the board is filled with 56 slots. Now, I know I'm going to keep reiterating this, that when you come in, just be mindful that there's other people working with you, or there's other people with the same common goal that want the same things, and they need your help, and you need their help in order to fill these boards. When you're talking to people and you're inviting them to the presentation, or you're inviting them to be a part of the board, look at this person and ask yourself, would you do any type of business with them? I know that we want, sometimes not everybody is a great fit for this, because we want like-minded individuals, very mature individuals, because there'll be a lot of money rotating, and we want it to be fair for everybody. So even though you only gift in $100, we don't want you to feel like when you get to week 3 and you have, or week 4, you have $20,000, oh, I'm done. You got to look at the bigger picture and see that at the end of the tunnel, there's $48,000 waiting for you. So you're going to walk away from $48,000 for $20,000. That wouldn't be smart at all. And then what happens is you can't come back to try to be gifted the 6,000 because you walked away. You have completely burned your bridge, and you are completely done, and you will not be allowed to be back. When you are gifting, or when the board is complete and it is time to gift, you have 24 hours to gift the person. And in some cases, you have until Sunday at noon. If you don't honor your commitment by the time, someone will reach out to you. You can communicate to someone. If there's a no call, no show, it's a strong possibility that your spot will be filled. The board should not have to suffer. The board should not have to wait because other people are not focused, or you don't feel like it's a priority. And I understand that everybody has a life, everybody has things going on, but let's be mindful that we did sign up and we committed to doing something that can financially put us in another position, or take us financially to another place, or increase our bank accounts, whatever terminology you want to use, so that to say see it to the end so that you can see the win. That's what we're focused on. So let's not let the boards die. Let's be team players. Let's be positive. Let's not have any negative thoughts. Yes, some people have been burnt. Many people have been burnt, but let's change the culture of what has happened here. Let's start fresh. Get your friends and family. Sometimes you look at this and you're like, oh, my friends and family won't do this. Then it's time to get new friends and family. Well, you can't really get new family, but it's time to get new friends. Because you don't want to sit in a circle full of people. If you got 6 or 5 broke friends, guess what? You become the 6th broke one. It's time to do something different. And our community always struggle with things like these because we don't trust. We have a big trust issue, and we got to figure out how to change our mindset so that we are in position to win. Like the others that teach their kids about financial wealth. They teach their kids how to use life insurance policies to develop wealth. They teach their kids and show their kids about investments at a young age. Many of us have college students, and we're using this as a way to help pay for the college. Some of us want to buy a house, and we don't have the credit to um, even be approved for a loan to get the house, or if we want to flip and and remodel. We don't have that type of credit, but you can use this money and have cash on hand, and then work a deal with the people that you're buying, because I'm sure that if they're selling and you're buying a house to flip it, that they have construction people or people that they work with, and you could use this money to buy that house and then use their resources to do the rehab. Like, let's be smart about this and let's have fun in the process of doing it. How so we're asking that you please honor your commitment and gift $100 to the person that sits in the color spot that's connected to you. Not the person that invited you, but the person that sits in the color spot that's connected to you. There's many different ways that you could be gifted. As you see the person on this screen in the picture on the left, they have Zelle, Cash App, and Apple Pay. And upon the board closing, each member of the group, we broke down the gifting list of who's going to give to, and we put the gifting ways of pay and made that available to them. And as they sent their gifts, they were checked off the list as completed. If you are using Cash App, there's limits to Cash App of going out. You can receive unlimited cash out, but going out, there's like a $2,500 a day, or 25,000 per week. Generally, there's that. But what you can do inside the app, there's a way that you can request that amount be extended to 75,000 a week, 17,000 per month. What happens is sometimes if you don't have that set that limit increased, Cash App will close or flag your account. Not saying that you're fraud, but they haven't seen income like that generate or flow through that app, and they want to know what's going on. Then you have to verify like your social or your name to make sure it's you for you to even get the money. So just to recap on how much money you will be taking in and sending out each week. Week 1, you don't get to bring in anything, but you're gifting out $100 and you keep nothing. Week 2, you're going to take in or receive $800. You're going to send out $500 and you're going to keep $300. Week 3, you're going to receive $4,000. You're going to send out $2,500 and you will keep $1,500. Week 4, you're going to take in $20,000, send out $6,000, and keep $14,000. And then week 5 is the celebration week. You get $48,000. You don't have to send anything to anybody. That money is yours to do what you feel or what you please. Celebrate. You've made it to the end. You get to keep the entire $48,000. And then when you look back over the last 5 weeks of what happened, you've brought in $72,800. You've sent out $9,100, and you've accumulated $63,800 over the course of 5 weeks, 28 days, 30 days, 45 days. Just be patient. It sometimes could take longer than you would expect, but it's definitely a process or a vehicle that will take you to the next level or get you started in the right direction to go into the next level financially in your life. I would like